old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
This button looks new. I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't been connected yet. Is it the dice makers?
An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore, so I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that you ring the doorbell. Just seeing the words Andro Orlando gets your hackles up. Its very existence is a threat to your masculinity, to say nothing of your hair. All you hear is static, but no one. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver but isn't saying anything.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order? My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
It's a woman, and she knows you. Your heart beats faster. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Michelle, just please.
Sounds like a ghost. Wind blows through your clothes and you feel detached from your surroundings. Inside the building, a cold memory hangs.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally speak again.
She sounds like she's about to cry. The cold is deep under your skin, as if you were talking to someone who's 100 years away. Somewhere inside the building, water is flooding the cellar floor. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay. Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
It must have been some kind of faulty wiring. We should maybe stop playing with this doorbell. It looks ancient.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read.
No. Hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget it. Find something.
Silence. Silence. Nothing happens after silence. This button.
This button looks new. I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't been connected.
Kuno's got this!
Oh yeah! Nappa Gumpy, Kuno! Right in the
Love it in the dick!
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body. The kid is obviously high.
fuck that! Kuno, yeah! Right in the mouthful!
They pay you no heed or pretend not to notice you.
Shits himself?
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
Goddamn right he's not a gardener. He's an athlete. Every rock connects, making the battered corpse look just a little bit worse for wear.
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces. You will see.
The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno! He says we're fucking each other!
A sturdy metal door.
Not paying on. Ha! No. Go check the.
The lights are so... I do my studies. Mum says it's necessary. Oh, King. I think that's why people read them. I don't know.
They're all dogs.
Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman, or it's exciting to people. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? That's great, sir.
She looks at Dick Mullen. Dark, arrogant, violent, likely overcompensating for something. She examines the cover, trying to gauge the inner workings of the detective.
Of course not, sir. He's just a fictional character. He'll be no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books. No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though. That's a friendly enough face, most of the time.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
She knows where this is going.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest.
A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She actually is impressed. This is more like a defensive reflex.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
That is so gross. Ew. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow.
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
I stand in this spot all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, telling people about being a star or something. I don't really understand who those stars are. Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
I didn't know I had to do that. I'm glad I could help you, sir.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out, a frequency tablet, the soft purr.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is her number, officer?
Change of plans. Her number.
What do you mean, officer? I'm not Sylvie.
Oh, did you hear that? How she said, officer? She's a wild one. What's it, Barbara Tan? Get that party going.
Come on, wake up. The way she said she's not Sylvie, practically begging you to make a move. Just go for it.
Yeah, Bratan! Otherwise, you're always gonna be wondering what could have been. Just ask her!
Sir, you're already connected to the 57 precinct.
What an unbelievable prude! Oh,
Sir, how can I help you with your investigation?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment. Takes a...
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again. There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
No, absolutely not. Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective? No, I don't know. It wasn't me. I haven't been out there since. I was terrified of the stench and the corpse. No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the corpse. No one calls the police. The Union would get angry. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Garbage.
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down eventually.
The fucking nerves on her. Trying to hide behind weakness. You're a god. An angry but just god.
Hey, if you cannot restrain yourself, then I'll be handling the interviews from now on, and you can quietly take notes. Fine. But know that I don't approve of such gratuitous volatility.
An angry cop refusing to face his demons and taking his frustrations out on others. Just a badge and a gun away from those he's manhandling. A fast-burning candle. That's the side you just exposed to the lieutenant. He doesn't judge. Has seen it too many times already. You breathing on the other end suggests that Sylvie is still on the line. She heard everything.
No.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer.
Okay. You mean why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir. Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know whom?
You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her word. Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else, not you.
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about this, okay? Maybe, I don't know. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags, when she was still working there.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. Just made me want to quit. The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. Okay, officer.
Crackling static, more static, and yes, more of that sweet static. The violence of your words is obviously scaring her.
Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes in this place. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you... well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now. We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about how you're actually a real cool guy, and no one understands it. One of the coolest guys there is. The coolest guy in Jamrock. Something about disco, too. And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself. No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened. All sorts of things. From disco, rock too. So much disco and rock. Yes, that's the one you like to sing along to the most. The later it got, the more that one came on.
Interesting. You still have to find a copy, though, before you can blast it. You hear a sigh of relief.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
In the cabin, you see a set of
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start.
He's down playing his... The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whine. That sound. You feel the wind in your hair as if you're already driving. But where? Down a narrow street, lined with shabby wooden houses. The 881 motor tract, coiling like a serpent high above. Children play under the viaduct, the Valley of Dogs, and before it, a familiar dome, like a ladybug without the colors. The building has a designated parking place for your carriage. This is Precinct 41, as close as you have to home now. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the...
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and a...
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro perforations. The rectangular watermark is you catch a faint glimmer from in the middle of a broken plaza, illuminated in a cone of light.
Ah, Martinez at night. Let me see. Right here. It has its problems.
There are many of them. The first row has 18 dots. The next is there are so many. The last row, that's it.
Those are perforations.
Son?
The first row represents your years of... That's what it says. Yes, that does. This next row, wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, call it what you want, right?
Confirmed kills. That sounds pretty evil. That's right.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least...
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
Everyone has their own method of coping. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab. The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page.
I can't believe it's no. It felt like springtime just a few. Me? I am pleased to. Me? I have a.
There's discomfort. She stops mid-sentence.
As you probably know, there's a corpse hanging from a tree there. It smells pretty bad, so I have to take.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Since the street signs it's there. What do you mean? Yes, sir.
He knows where we are. He just wants that.
There's the pier, the harbor gate, some shops, and just
rows of stalls under a broad roof, where silvery fish were heaped on newspapers. Water, water everywhere, pouring from the heavens in the shadow of the old.
I don't know. It's just water, no problem. I can't believe it. It felt like springtime just a few days ago. Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should... She shifts in...
Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable.
Oh, I don't...
No need to worry.
Okay. Well,
She's uncomfortable. She shifts in...
Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable.
Oh. Okay.
She's uncomfortable. Maybe...
Oh. Well, I don't know anything about...
No need to worry.
Okay. Well, I did...
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to, I don't know, a 7 to 11 growth. I think they think that okay, a warehouse.
She looks...
Fine. I don't really know. Not, no. I don't know, really,
No need to...
Okay. Uh-huh.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and a colorful...
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals...
No. You need tear to use the tear machine.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a...
Here you go.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined...
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't... You find the filament memory with the offsite copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Soif.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an off...
Some local miscreant, probably. There are tons of them running around in Martin. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the Ice Bear fridge.
Didn't you see one right next to the... Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. To the left of some croissants, a small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Okay, here.
Nice. Not bad advice, actually. This might do the trick.
Let's talk about our right to work. No, I'm not a fighter. I'm a worker. What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed.
The man has turned his attention elsewhere.
Have fun. You right to work! It's shame.
We are not picking pity.
Honest, we came here.
I have a...
You think they follow because we were promised. Main gate's locked, and I don't mean to scrot like civil...
It would be better.
No! They will. No. I'm not a fighter.
I guess getting past the man ain't that simple after all. So, what now? Sorry. Busy surveying the situation. I'm sure you'll figure something out. You guys have all sorts of gadgets these days. Wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kvaltsen crane over using some remote controls. Or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
Because we don't. We don't have air support or any of those other things.
I get it. Hush hush about the secret technology.
Something changes in his disposition. A merciful smile in the corner of his eye.
All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there, out of solidarity to the RCM. It's low in technology, however. First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically, grovel. That's how I do it. You're welcome. Sorry, wiretapping or calling? I get it.
Something.
All right, first, don't fight him. Obviously. Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. I don't believe you. It wasn't. I'm doing much better. Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. Probably not. Murder, huh? That's okay. I have...
Looking for something odd, isn't it? He's just...
Yes.
Looks like he's...
I wouldn't be so sure.
Guess so. Not...
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
People who...
If this guy's all the Occidentals have, well, let's just say...
Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different? This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The damn kips are sure.
Oh?
Good. If we, the evening people...
Lieutenant Kitsaragi's stern expression remains unchanged. But you sense he can't... Oh no, not too happy.
When you said before that you were down with racism, was it meant in...
Well, now you've done it. Let's see if you can talk your way out of this one.
I suppose that's a relief. Just be careful how often you avail yourself of this technique. A lie may be useful in the short term, but I have a way of catching up with you later. And one more thing. As you've seen, these sorts of attitudes are quite common in Martinez, so I expect this to happen again and again. I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now on, I'm going to stay out of it. How you choose to respond is your business.
If you don't mind, please put the flashlight away. Some of us have photonic sensitivities. I do appreciate it. It's not often. What can I do?
His courtesy is not insincere, but...
Oh no, not at
Who are your customers?
all kinds of people. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrrolidon, a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting.
I've had to take it. You know, since the People's Pile cleanup. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. We were an all-volunteer force. I lived by the river since I was... There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. There's a reason why so much disappointment. And no one's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built them. The cleanup happened, so I came to Martin. I like the theory more than the story.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick your tape and set it spinning. It all starts with the tape. You said you'd done it before.
It's almost like he's worried for you. The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care.
Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Pyrrolidon. Straight into your gut.
Of course. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my...
No one likes to see what you have to... The pawnbroker's gaze.
Let me have a look. Jean-Baptiste's summer dinghy rates is 31. What a pleasant time that was. So, what do you want to know? Price? I can give you $3.20 for it. Sure thing. So, do you want to sell it another time, perhaps?
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not... The trash container stands in the spring snow. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. container sounds a muffled gong.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and...
He shrinks back a bit under the lieutenant's surveillance.
I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here. Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you?
I understand you. I feel I must...
Forgive me.
He shrinks back.
I mean no offense. Good luck trying to use it. All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before... Oh, wonderful. Try to do that. I'll have to call you an ambulance. Not until you...
Okay.
I really...
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done. Do I have a shaker in my hand?
He sounds irritated.
Am I wearing a... Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and because I'm not a bar...
What you want is a goddamn drink. How is that so hard to...
Like what?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transporting...
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. As you tap on the gauge...
No, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights.
The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. There are spinner hubcaps.
A vanity he wouldn't mind.
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. That they are. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back. No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cop with spinners. That would be outrageous.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
Don't make your unpaid hostel bill a moral boon, officer. It won't stick.
Shut down. I've nothing to add. The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can...
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course. I meant no offense.
Thank you. Here's the 100 real you need for your bill.
The windfall is a small...
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? A lot. For the room and broken window? Well... Great. Thank you, officer.
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure...
The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20
I'll take a room here too.
Of course.
This is the door to the room.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
You're cold, detective. Again, I only have exactly one every night.
Below, the city trembles with its remaining lights. People are rushing home, running away from home, smoking, sleeping, singing in the shower. Edges of dining tables, hands, aprons flicker through windows before the lights go out.
You mean this? This isn't good. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy. Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure. Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a stick. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection.
When power calls you, you come. But power itself is a frag.
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In this not a good position to be in. We don't convict. Yes, the RCM was formed by the coalition, or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the Moralinton leases us the right to...
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pop. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. The Union, the teenagers too. It's different in land, in Jamrock and the GRIH. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. Probably not. Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our actions. Well, we didn't even look at the body. And there's still much to do at the crime scene too.
He would have put all of this more harshly, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably because he's afraid that you'll just give up and keep drinking.
It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. I'm just going. We weren't able to find the union leader, Evrat Claire, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We tried to interview the White Palms rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous. Above all, though,
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
it's impressive, especially for a man your age. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
The mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. It's your face in the mirror, adorned with... The bed is cold and... The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out, and then sleep doesn't come. Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes. Maybe it's the bed's fault. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you.
remember the scent of your childhood? Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth? You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have they were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times you failed Elysium. Everything. The Pale and the useless. On the surface, you really dropped the ball, Harry. You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Your mind is what now? I can't hear you. The rest is just a word dream. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something. Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy. Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. That's not really true. Your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Of course, Martinez is Speed Central. You and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I completely forgot one loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it. I mean, men who drink beer for breakfast. A lot of things. That's not a lot of. That would. In fact.
He's not.
One more thing.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway.
The man ponders his cooking utensil. He looks up at you. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that. You see a heavy, the cobalt blue. You see the door does. You see, accept the name
Happy shop everything.
from out.
You're very cool. Oh, you like.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. No need to dress.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? Ah, yes.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not doing a very good job.
Sorry, detective. Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business. Very sharp, officer.
The apricot suzerainty is what the Sea Guy archipelago is.
No, apricots come from sea. Speaking of drugs, unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! That's very cool. That's even cooler. You investigating that? Who said that?
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said, okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my... No! That's in... Nothing.
And what?
Crowd.
There's more here. He's afraid of this crowd, whoever they are.
Look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her. All of them. I don't know.
It could be. She was...
All right. The shine on these sunglasses lasts a life. These are all...
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy. Gotta prepare for springtime.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here. A rusting control. This panel usually pull the lever, nothing happens. Nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back. Wasn't there a... An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material.
Yes? Yes?
Can't you see I'm throwing rocks? What? You wanna fuck Kuno now? What's the matter? Who's the man?
What was that?
Nothing, see, nothing. Just slicing some bacon. Fuck no, Kuno does. Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got? Fucking right, pig. Kuno's filling bathtubs with that shit. Kuno's a kingpin. Don't be yanking your shit in front of the...
He's got to at least know a source. Look, you need to befriend him first.
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
Kuno. Primal. Violent.
Yeah, think about it. Think about that rat.
He seems glad someone understood what he was going for. But right as he's getting distracted, you hear a malevolent hiss.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help! Help! He's...
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
Look at his shit-eating grin. He knows there's nothing you can do to him. He's bullying you, and you are helpless. Kill him. Kill him now. He won't see death come. Thump. The blow connects surprisingly well, leaving your knuckles tingling. Kuno feels it. This was no light tap.
What?
Officer, this is very far from normal police conduct. Get yourself together.
For heaven's sake, he thinks. This has gone too far.
Okay, pig.
If this act was about him trying to establish dominance over you, it's safe to...
Kuno knows to respect that violent shit. You should see Kuno's dad. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit.
The creature behind the...
Okay, pig. Talk to Kuno. We're back in this shit. The fuck do you want?
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Get your snap. You should get... You...
That went wrong. He took it as a...
You're dreaming, pig. That's not how this shit...
A little.
Don't let him dominate you, Kuno! Fuck his shit! Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not...
You have no idea what the usual is. Just ask whatever comes to mind.
Kuno's...
End of conversation. very strong.
Probably climbed. You heard Kuno. I don't Mesk or I don't know, some other place. Night City. Kuno is in fucking Night City. Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't... Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That's it.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty Kuno.
Your test...
Get lost,
The fuck about it? Your test...
Get lost,
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Fuck do you want with it? Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen, Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real. Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance. Believe it, you need this shit.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wild. Coach Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that up there. Now, you want performance gear or not?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so."
All right, Piggo.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you.
There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something obscure in you. What that is, however, remains a puzzle for now.
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah.
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
The kid may have something there. He's already come up with an interrogation.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with... No, it's not fucking Kuno.
He thinks you're fucking fool, Kuno. He says you climb the ladder up to your magic tree.
Get the fuck out of here, pig. Kuno doesn't have a magic tree house. Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there. Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno that's just some shit roofing gimps left behind.
There it is. That strange feeling again. As if there was more than meets the eye about that pile of roof.
Inner eye? Fuck are you talking about? Ask.
They're trying to make you feel...
You glance again at the roofing material in front of the...
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Yeah? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't... Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno does...
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed?
Amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
No, I'm just a regular detective, thank you very much. Perhaps not. See that ladder there? It's
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
The cloak? Well, it doesn't. What are we doing? Or it could be.
He's thinking you forgot. The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. The look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. His eyes trace the crane's contour as if trying to memorize its...
Yes. We were in the middle of something. Your cloak.
Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up here.
Sure. Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost strained him up.
A tarpaulin cloak is still... descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go. Just like that, instinct. The man is reeling. Gasp. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appeared. The man lands with a dull thump, like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment, he still tries to keep his head. As you slam your fist on the button, the man...
Looks like you're the new measurehead now.
Her voice is surprisingly calm.
No one is the new measurehead. Let's go, before he gets up.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. So cool. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bayi, badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, lights. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. The man is still knocked out. It'll take a few moments for him. An imposing combination of a punch clock. The machine swallows your coin and seems... The already familiar cold touch of plastic. It's unclear whether you actually have muscle memory. Undoubtedly. Sure, nothing tricky about it. The tarpaulin cloak. As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver. I will shield you from that. Snow is quietly covering the numerous wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really hard here. Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner.
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. It really doesn't. Let's turn our attention elsewhere and move on.
This is the night watchman's booth.
If you must. But please hurry.
Nothing incriminating. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, Rene, is dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera. Rene looks like he's about to smile.
Why did you take that picture of Rene? Of course you are. What?
The front of this quarterly, because white antlers are one of the symbols of a shameful way to because Friesel, to your disappointment, after the magazine is divided into several sections. You skip. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent. The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution so long as it's only redistributed upward. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table, it takes a moment, but gradually it dawns. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A. That certainly sounds like. The actual article is surprisingly light on details. You think you're settling in. Instead, you find where to even start. For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines: Nasdeb Encolada Bernal and Excellus Buca. Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Fritta. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for. You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective. I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be... If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. Control panel with a loud grind. The crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. With a surprisingly quiet, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Moving this container, of course.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers. this like your thing with that wall again? You do? Because I don't. There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? There may very well... We are not here to interact with containers.
No reply. You attempt to turn the handle. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because what wasn't an option? Now is not the time to get philosophical.
Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, Everard, he looks after...
The look in his deep blue eyes.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know. And folks, just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys. Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course. Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operator.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really livens up the place. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I had to break this bonding moment.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boy stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling him to take some time off.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. Yes, yes, everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way, Leonard Bellick, but everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those douce sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. But I can't listen to the radio all the time.
Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic.
Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eye.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here.
The white rectangle on your clothes might not mean an awful lot in Martinez, but the recognition from an authority figure made Leo's day.
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Bye-bye now.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everett Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair is incredibly uncomfortable. Fortunately, your ass is made of iron, and the chair is made of wood. Iron beats wood. You manage not to shift around.
By the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is. Don't mention it. But also don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course.
Is he?
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. Oh God, why didn't you think of this before? Cops have guns. Where's yours? Fuck love. This is your gun. This is serious.
You don't need a gun. We can still have fun without the gun. The fun doesn't need to stop. Have some right now.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is... I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe I can help you out.
Don't trust him. For all you know, Dubois might be his name. You need to confirm this.
I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right. I can.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Everard's large hands are covering the folder, but the look...
Oh, Harry.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that.
So how about it, Harry? You need assistance, I presume? It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
You don't feel like either one of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count, or a beautiful man.
Fine, Harry. You can even be Harry Raphael Dubois de Costo, or whatever you choose to be. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you any way I can. But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay. Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats. Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
I find that very suspicious.
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you... Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar. Of course I do, Harry. And I'm gonna help you shine. I'm gonna put you on all the big stages. Your name in giant neon letters. Harry Dubois.
The giant neon sign reading Harry Dubois, hanging from the Cavalson crane, can be seen all the way to Jamrock. Somewhere in Mirova,
Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not... What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what?
and gets over it in 2 seconds. Seems like it didn't really hurt him.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Do we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing. But the Union did not get where we are today by frowning on eccentricity. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Let's hear it, Harry. Of course, Harry, of course. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Harry! I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help, like I'm helping you with your lost gun. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me, but there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry? Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. Fantastic! You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gate. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Oh, that's very nice. I have one thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. We're all trying to do what's best for Martin Ace. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a...
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
Okay then, positive emotions it is. You like positive emotions.
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
It's hard to say if he really lost his temper, or if this is another one of his tricks. This man almost never angers visibly.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind.
This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I...
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man.
Mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she... No trouble at all.
You're back before the cargo container. It's... On second glance, someone has forgotten to put...
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave...
Let's see what's inside. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside, hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmarar. and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Cool. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. The drawer slides The file cabinet stands steady as ever. Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are. How
Is that what you're doing with those photos over there? Right. This is probably not relevant to our...
The drawer
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic. True, I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered.
He means very little.
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital, which is something your race naivistic communists never. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor to your race descent. Everywhere around you, the fruits of its failure to challenge the world order. Individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted diseases. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music? Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race. The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here for we are the future. That is all you need to know. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulembuir are no. I have heard about...
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the women.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Simony strategy. Spreading through its trade network, you have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with,
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one. There always is.
Race is reality.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup.
Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called hardy boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading. The hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman. Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
True, that is a noble cranium, but you got a hard noggin yourself.
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry, just an observation. It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Ghul. From what remain of this leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal. Your racial heritage is uninterpreted.
He's right there. It's almost impossible to.
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading right. You talk to the boss. A key, huh? What door is? Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I knew this man was a commie. And it's a good thing you're doing too. That what you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse.
Okay, but
the janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big pictures.
Who he is and what they're fighting for? This must be it. The basement door is where the royal lion, Guillaume's kitten. You try to be as silent as you can. Finally, the door. Good job. Let's go now. Only curiosity could, as you hold the open. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. A little ring. Though cheerful, the images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much. Anytime, the lieutenant picks up one of the mugs.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens.
Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. A sturdy metal door guards the...
Hello again, officers. I ain't no snitch.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant.
bear's eyes are...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? Very good. That will be 7 real for 1 custom die. Here's the cursed die you ordered.
The phrases read, God is indifferent. Take all. Lose all. 50-50. Nothing happens. And pale.
It's a die. Try rolling it.
You throw the ball on the floor, and it ends with one of the phrases facing upwards. God is indifferent.
Good. Now roll again, detective.
It lands on exactly the same result. God is indifferent.
It's a sphere pretending to be a 6-sided die. Each row will end with one of the phrases facing up. The die originates in Ilmara, where it was used for cleromancy. Except I've weighted the die. When you try rolling it, you realize that each time it gets you exactly the same result. God is indifferent. This is our curse. Good luck, officer. I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce 1 die per customer.
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
Didn't we already talk about this? What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue de Saint-Guilain 10.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up, yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from? And what? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces. She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
Do you know what this is? It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan. No, you're right. I didn't. It wasn't just the jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney? Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. Still, there is something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending or an entirely different world. But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalked. Shelves full of biographies of famous.
A true cultural touchstone.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places. You can do it. It'll be worth it. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh, that's the spirit. Here we go. Dolores Day. Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern. She was powerful, and her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver. Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one. A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the humans. That is unimportant to the quiz. Stop. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensation. Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of. Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try? Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum. As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocent? Dolores. Incorrect again. While she originated many modern institutions, launched several successful expeditions, and was even critical of the Innocentic system itself, and somehow keeps popping up in your mind, she is not often considered the strongest. Even though the words most associated with her rule are l'amour, la compassion, la autodiscipline, love, compassion, self-control, which could be seen as facets of strength. Please, relax. Correct. Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocent? Okay, it wasn't Dolores Day. She's not false. No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true. Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during. Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Ernau Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great everything from inter-isolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful. And more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. A D, not particularly remarkable. but technically a passing grade. Not that anyone really expected better. You would have done better if you'd just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
What's going on with you? Okay.
You are shouting at an inanimate object, like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
Man, something's weird about this book. You should do something fun instead. Rock out. Forget about it.
Shelves full of biographies. Browsing through suddenly, a high speed next to.
I really must insist you.
She understands.
I'm sorry, I did.
Several maps. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
The worn map features the patchwork. Your finger moves, finally coming.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Indeed. Well, I hope it can.
Medicinal purposes. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the pill. You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials, readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied upon by generations of traditional zeolite. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from them. There are a number of zeolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition. What you're describing is booze. You don't need any herbs. There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced. First, you need to choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? The ginger and aloe vera make this poultice ideal for the treatment of arthritis. It won't do anything for your hangover. Be that as it may, it might have been useful to have such a thing for the trials you'll soon be facing. It's a shame you can't get. Would you like to try again? Very well. First, choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the... Lastly, is there anything... The ginger root will help with the nausea, and the birch bark tea will help you flush out the toxins. The ginseng should give you more energy, as a nice bonus. From the Pearl, of course, or perhaps from some enterprising entrepreneur. Where you would find one of those, though, the book does not say. Very well. First, next, you'll need to come... Lastly, is there anything... You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia, it should... If only you could find one of these right now and... Would you like to try again? You close the book. This bookstore, amidst the point variant. The display rack is brimming with worn paperback. This is entirely, completely you. You have